no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. Feel me? Let's go. You can hate me now.
Too sweet. Hi, welcome to JD Sports. I'm Jay Hood. That's the light.
Praise on. You can hate me now.
Two ones in the books. It was a good first week of football overall.
It's nice to actually watch football.
Yeah, it was. I watched football all day on Sunday.
Sames.
It was pretty awesome.
It's nice not to have to work it.
Yeah, that's true. First year you're able to do that in a little while.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you miss it?
A little bit.
It's back.
It's beautiful.
All right.
It's beautiful.
So I guess your weekend was good then. Don't even have to ask.
No.
Well, get right into it. The game of the week turned out to be the Packers and the Bears. Who would have thought?
Is that what it was?
I mean, you got a better candidate?
I assumed you were going to say Tampa Bay and New Orleans, but...
No, because that game, while it ended up being a shootout at the end, it was 48 to 30.
I mean, Green Bay versus Chicago was anything other than a fourth quarter Aaron Rodgers showing, which that doesn't make it a great game.
No.
That makes it a moment.
No, that's a game of the week, though. I feel like... Okay, fine. Finish of the week?
Sure.
All right.
Doesn't make it the game of the week.
I mean,
I'll tell you what, I turned that shit off way earlier than when that comeback was happening.
Well, I stayed up and watched it. I saw Aaron Rodgers was coming back, and I said, I'll give it a shot. Glad I did. It was well worth the watch. Super impressive. Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things, obviously. Khalil Mack, that's starting to look like the trade of the century.
Don't disrespect the Cowboys trade of the 90s, but anyway.
It's up there, though. I mean,
Sure.
2 first-round picks for...
I guess this is a new century.
For a guy that you're literally chasing to try to draft. Like you know what John Gruden will be trying to do for the rest of his life? Find a Khalil Mack to play on his Raiders defense. Monday night, looked like he could have used a Khalil Mack. We'll get into that eventually. But back to the Bears-Packers. Khalil Mack looked like a one-man wrecking crew and on a limited snap count. Aaron Rodgers, bad knee. Who knows if he's going to play Sunday or not. We'll get into that as well.
He's going to play.
Yeah, I think he's going to play as well. He was dazed when he said it, though. Did you see that?
He was high.
Yeah,
He was high. How do you think he got out there?
Yeah.
He was smiling when he came out. I knew immediately. I was like, he's on some good shit right now.
He was feeling it. He loved it.
No questions. And, everybody was just laughing at it, but I was like, but that's okay?
That's a little weird.
That's okay?
It's not okay.
I don't hear anybody outraged, and you would assume people would be outraged. Everybody was just laughing at it. I laughed at it. I laughed the moment I saw him coming out, and he was smiling. I was like, oh, he's on that happy stuff.
That's how they do it in football.
He is numb.
That's how they've done it in football forever.
But that's okay, right? But body weight's not okay. Okay, got it. I'm sure we'll talk about that, too. Talk about things that pissed me off week 1.
Come on.
Body weight.
That had to be the most ridiculous rule, even the one
That's
against
the most
Eagles.
Broken rule.
So that was the first time I saw it, was the one that happened against the Eagles. And I stopped, and I was like, wait, did he literally just say that because of his body weight that they're going to throw a 15?
Body weight.
And then I was like, so when they showed the replay, I said, so how is the player supposed to know that Nick Foles didn't even have the football in his hands anymore? Because he was hitting Nick Foles before Nick Foles was throwing the ball. Nick Foles threw the ball as he was going down, and then they still called it rough. I was like, I mean, what is he supposed to do?
How do you tackle people?
So now hit him, but hit him differently, Dwight.
You can't hit him high.
Nope.
As much as that Eagles song goes, you can't hit him high or low.
Nope, don't hit him in the gut.
Can't hit him in the gut.
Because if you do that, you'll fall on him, and then your body weight.
How are you supposed to tackle these dudes? How?
Well, if it's a quarterback, just don't, I guess, is the new rule.
Like, is it two-hand touch for them? Just call it that then, and that'd be cool. At least I would understand it. What are you supposed to do? You can't do anything. What is this body weight shit?
Throughout the weekend, it started to be the most annoying thing I saw in all the games, like the body weight.
How do you stop momentum? You're running at this guy full speed. You try to take him down. If he's like half the size or just as big as you as a linebacker, and you're going against like a Big Ben, how are you supposed to take him down other than put your weight on him?
What are you supposed to do?
You can't do anything. That was the most annoying thing I saw all weekend. And it was consistent.
Bad rule.
Every game was getting those calls, and I was just like, wow, this is horrible. It's worse than the helmet to helmet.
It is, because the helmet to helmets actually weren't even called once in this weekend. What are you supposed to do, though, if you're a defensive lineman when you're getting to the quarterback? I didn't like that. It was
you can't
bad.
touch him. You're not allowed to sack. There's no such thing as a sack anymore.
No. The Aaron Rodgers injury didn't happen on anything like that, though. He went down awkwardly on his knee.
I guess like you wrap a guy up, but then you like let go as you're going.
I don't know. You have to like roll away. You have to pretend not to hit him. I don't know how it
They're
goes.
gonna have to adjust that. It's not okay.
But back to the Packers, Bears. Khalil Mack in the first half, he had one of the best defensive games ever that I've ever seen by one man. The fumble, all the sacks, all the just getting the pressure on the quarterback, the interception for a touchdown.
That was just embarrassing.
It was. Mitchell Trubisky looked all right in the first quarter, but then the rest of that game it was kind of like, yeah.
Chicago Bears, huh?
Yeah, not much of any offense after the first quarter. Their defense literally scored a touchdown and put them in field goal range the 2 times they got the field goals. So it was 20-3 at halftime. Aaron Rodgers came back, had a ridiculous fourth quarter, 253 yards in the second half, most of his career in one half.
That's going to be the Bears' entire season, dude.
Did it on one knee. Yeah.
They're not putting up points.
We're going to get into it. They're favored at home on Monday night against Seattle. Yeah.
Because of Khalil Mack.
By 5 points. Yeah, I guess.
Literally?
Actually, they didn't prepare.
It ain't the quarterback.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, you talked about the Tampa Bay game. Ryan Fitzmagic.
Don't. Stop. Why are people doing that?
His once-in-a-lifetime performance, literally.
Well, now, it's like once a season.
I mean, yeah, he has a couple of good games a year.
Next week he'll throw 6 interceptions.
Okay, so I was thoroughly confused watching the game on the sense of we knew that Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, O.J. Howard, we can go on about the offense for the Buccaneers, and Jameis never really ran it well, it didn't seem like, right? We know how good their offense is. But the Saints' defense was last year kind of just an outlier, because remember how bad they were the 5 years leading up? I mean, they were historically bad the 5 years leading up to last year. Last year, they made a historical leap from bottom 5 in the league to top 5 in the league. It's one of only like 3 times it's ever happened. We talked about that last year. But are they back there? I mean, again, this is week 1. It's crazy because I don't like hitting the panic button, but at the same time, when you give up 48 points to Ryan Fitzpatrick and an offense that, honestly, even with Ryan Fitzpatrick running it last year, they never looked that good.
No. I mean, it's in New Orleans, and everybody puts up numbers in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Nobody's taling about that either, but they do. Not just
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
You're right.
Everybody puts up numbers.
It's like a fast turf. It's like it's like Oregon.
All right, so I would probably lean just from a historical perspective and just say maybe they're not back to as trash, but I would say they're leaning towards that.
It's going to even out. They're going to be in the middle.
Yeah, probably even less, honestly.
Well, also, they didn't have the run game to rely on. There was a fumble for a touchdown that happened because Alvin Kamara was on the sidelines. They had one of the backups punting. So you would either have Ingram or Alvin Kamara in that play most likely. You would hope they don't fumble it and it goes for a touchdown. Things like that as well going against you doesn't help. So their offense was missing a big element to their game, and when you're missing that run game, it's hard to chew the clock. Your defense is on the field more, maybe more opportunities to score against you. Still, 48 points is a lot of points no matter how you look at it, even if you end up one of them being a touchdown given up by the defense. All right, so you're still looking at 41 points given up by you. Not good.
No, it's not good. And Tampa Bay is not that good.
Drew Brees didn't have a bad day either. I mean, he had, 400 plus yards?
He had a Drew Brees' day.
Fantastic
He had a Drew Brees' day. In his home. This is what he does.
Got it to both Gins, got it to Michael Thomas a couple times.
Anybody he wanted
39 fantasy points. It was crazy.
Anybody he wanted to is who he got to, which is what he always does.
Incredible. So,
it's, like I said, Tampa Bay's not that good.
Moving forward, okay, so you think Tampa Bay's not that good. I agree. You don't think their offense can put up another 40-plus points?
No.
Agreed.
No.
Their defense will give up not 40 points, but a lot of points still?
Won't. Sure. Not 40.
They lose games. They don't win games.
No.
They're a 5-6 win team?
Yeah. Yeah, with or without whatever quarterback's going to be there. Yeah. I don't care if they put Jameis back out there, which they're going to.
What about the Saints? Does the Saints bounce back?
As far as what, their defense or just?
Well, they're 0-1. I mean, historically, teams that go 0-2 only have like a 30-some% chance of making the playoffs. I'm not saying that. That's a 1 in 3 chance. It's a 1 in 3 chance no matter how you look at this.
And it's 1-on-1 as long as you got Drew Brees. It's a guarantee you're going to be a threat to something.
You have Atlanta and Carolina in that division. Atlanta lost, Carolina won.
Right.
You already dropped a home divisional game though. If you're New Orleans, I'm not saying they can't bounce back. Clearly, it's week one. It's week one. There's no, as I said before, I'm not gonna hit no panic button tonight.
No.
It's none of this.
You got Drew Brees out there, and your team, even if it is back to being garbage, you're not gonna put up 40 points every week. Drew Brees can put up 40 points every week, I think. But
and while I don't, while I don't necessarily believe in it as much as I think other people do, something is in the coaches and experts, quote unquote, in the ex-players saying the less time that they've had to prepare over the last couple of years, the more sloppy football you have in the first 2 or 3 weeks, and you got to get in week 3 or week 4 before you actually have your true football team in form. So maybe there is something to that, and if there is, then New Orleans, obviously, there's no reason to even worry about game one.
I think they should be right in there with the division. Right.
Yeah, I mean, right. Obviously, Carolina and Tampa Bay have a leg up on the other two teams at the moment, but 1 week changes all of that.
Yeah, literally. And once Jameis comes back, we don't even like Tampa.
Carolina plays in Atlanta this week, so right there could even it out. You know what I mean? I think New Orleans has a fairly easy game.
I don't think.
New Orleans plays Cleveland in New Orleans.
Right.
So you have a chance right there with Carolina dropping. That's your biggest threat now that the 1-0 teams, as you just said, Tampa's probably out of it. I agree with you. So then you're going to think if you're,
Yeah, Atlanta's not as bad as what they showed in Philly, so.
Again, week one, and their defense played well.
Right.
We'll get there.
So,
We'll definitely get there.
No, they should be right in that mix. But Tampa Bay, no, I'm not. No. Keep showing more.
Agreed.
It's not happening.
We'll get back to the AFC or NFC South teams here in a second. Kansas City, I want to talk about them. What a game. I said before the season how I was excited for Patrick Mahomes because I thought he showed a lot of upside. I thought that the Los Angeles Chargers defense was pretty good. 48 points. I mean, it did not. They looked like
a rookie.
And Phillip Rivers, it was a typical Phillip Rivers day where you can't blame him, but at the same time,
I'm glad you're finally on that kick, bro.
I mean,
how many drop passes?
Oh, that was bad. It was bad.
This is his whole career. You know what I'm trying to say.
The other side of this though,
it's a constant story. Like people drop passes all
48 points. It doesn't matter how you look at it. You scored. Phillip Rivers in that offense scored 38 points.
That's still a lot of points.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
so 48 points. The other side is the problem.
Right,
no matter how you look at this. I'm with you on the drop passes and everything, but at the end of the day, 38 points is a lot of points.
Right, what else are you supposed to do? Hello defense, step up.
I did say last week, though, that Kansas City is going to be like a Big 12 team where a lot of offense and no defense. I mean, I think that's a glimpse of their entire season, what we just saw. I think they're just going to win shootouts. I think they're going to go for 40 points a game. I don't know if they get it, but I think that is going to be their target goal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's everybody's goal.
No. I think everybody actually has a realistic goal of like 25 to 30 points a game. I don't
think they really think this rookie is going to put up 40 points every week. I also don't think.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, because of how fast Tyreek Hill is, how fast you were just going to say Kareem Hunt.
I was going
to
say
have a great offensive line.
My point was going to be.
And they have no defense. They put everything in speed, and he's fast. Mahomes, he can run.
Okay, had a good week one for Sean. I don't think this is going to be the constant though. The Kareem Hunt thing, like I would know how garbage he was because he's on my fantasy team, gave me no touchdowns.
I think they scored 30 plus points a game this year.
That's asking for a lot out of a rookie quarterback, dude.
Second year.
Oh, second year.
First year starting.
Okay, well, how many games did he play last year?
1.
He's a rookie quarterback. That's asking a lot out of a rookie quarterback, dude. I mean,
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's what they're going for. I think they don't trade Alex Smith away if they don't believe that they can do that as well.
Alex Smith was putting up those type of numbers, so
he's putting up about almost 30. Yeah.
Right. So let's just.
If they feel like they can get 3 to 7 more points a game, though.
I don't know about all that. I think that's asking for a whole lot. And you face San Diego team or LA, whatever the hell city they're in now. You're facing that.
Is that a letdown for the Chargers?
Chargers defense.
Is that a letdown? See, I thought they were going to have a better defense. Is that a letdown for the Chargers? Week 1, losing at home like that. Is that?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's
at home to a rookie like
balloon. And in division, as I was just talking about with New Orleans, this is a little harder to overcome. You are not New Orleans. You do not have Drew Brees. As good as Phillip Rivers might be to a lot of people, he's still obviously not Drew Brees.
Gotta clarify that, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. But point being is like it's still, and it also it's as tough a division. You have Denver who look good. I'll get into how I was wrong about them. And clearly Denver looked good. Oakland, obviously, we'll talk about them, not all that good. So maybe you have a chance to get to third in your division, but if you can't beat Kansas City and Denver, you're third.
Yeah, I mean, who else do they have? Phillip Rivers again.
I like Keenan Allen a lot, but that's it.
Right, that's it.
That's it.
There's nothing.
Joey Bosa, but he didn't play. And does he make that much of a difference? I mean, they still scored 48 points on you. So what does he make? 5-point difference for you?
Yeah.
He's a defense end.
And San Diego, they're not putting up those numbers consistently. There's no way to put up 30 points. That's a fluke situation. And Kansas City's defense isn't that bad, so let's just cut that.
But it was.
Okay, well, it's for a game, and there's a lot of.
I think it's going to be
a lot
that bad
of
all
okay.
season. I really do. I think it's going to be that bad all season. I don't think they give up 38 all season, but I think they give up 25 plus every game.
I don't know.
They're not a good defense. They're not. They put all their stock in offense.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of week one, like, I don't believe in because of circumstances, whatever they are, because it's week one, weather or whatever, we're going to get into all that nonsense.
Here, I got a question for you.
I don't think Kansas City's defense is going to be that bad.
Okay.
They're not going to give up 30 points.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Well, I think 25 to 30 every game.
Sure, just like Tampa Bay when we were just saying, they're not going to be doing this every week.
Okay. There's
a lot of week ones.
I think
like
Kansas
this
City,
shit just happened.
I think Kansas City can win their division, though. Neither of us think Tampa Bay can win their division. Do you think Kansas City can still win the division? I think Kansas City can win the division. I think they're a good team.
They won a division.
All right,
sure.
where neither of us think Tampa Bay is more than a 6-win team, 7-win team.
Yeah. Like we said, it's going to be a completely different look anyway when the quarterback changes.
All right, so let's talk about another, because you think probably abnormal. Let's talk about another abnormal situation in a team that lost in a very big letdown. Monday night, the New York Jets.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, we'll get into the other one.
No,
That's
the
not
New
a
York
letdown.
Jets one.
That's not a letdown.
I mean, the New York Jets ones was kind of funny for other reasons, but
The New York Jets, so first play of the game, the Detroit Lions got their fans thinking, all right, well, Aaron Rodgers might be hurt. We can compete. Play one of the season, you end up in the end zone, it's 7-0, Sam Darnold, horrible start to his career.
Jets. That was what I yelled when he threw that pick six.
The man went 11 for 14 for 230 yards and a touchdown for the rest of the half.
Great
Great rest of the half, great rest of the game. The Jets picked 2 touchdowns off, two pick six in the game. They won 56 to
Jesus.
whatever.
I don't even know.
13, 17.
I was peeping. Oh, yeah, I turned it off. Well, I wasn't really watching anyway. But I did you peep like towards the end when the Jets fans literally just bombarded towards one section, like right behind the bench, and they were losing them. I thought that was
pretty cool.
And then as they're literally chanting the JTS thing, they do a pick, and or they got a pick, and I was like, that's actually funny as hell.
It was fantastic. Matt Stafford.
Oh shit.
So how many times have we talked about how he's not that good?
About as much times as we talk about how.
Like we think he's okay, but we never thought he was great, right?
Yeah, he's like Alex Smith.
Right. Yeah. Like
Kirk Cousins.
Right. Yeah. Like he's not. Okay. So we're in a great time of quarterbacks where we have guys who 3 guys who are guaranteed locks, Hall of Famers: Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. Locks, Hall of Famers. Drew Brees, 4. Okay, but sure. Greatest time in football, right? And then you have other guys that will get votes. Guys who will get votes. Just I don't know. Cam, do you think Cam will? I think Cam will get a couple votes just because of he'll.
No, let's wait.
I think he'll get votes. I don't know if he gets. I don't think he gets in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he gets votes. I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks.
Get votes for, but
who are other potential quarterbacks to get votes? I don't know.
Matt Ryan might.
Okay, Matt Ryan. Great example.
Right.
Great example. If Deshaun Watson or Carson Wentz or players like that continue on the Andrew Luck. You know who else is getting in the Hall of Fame? Russell Wilson. Watch. Yes?
More than Cam, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but see, this is my point.
Matthew Stafford.
Right. Right.
It's the next tier down.
Right. There's like 12 quarterbacks I think can play in the NFL.
Then there's the tier just below.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then there's about another 5 that I think are like
just go away.
Like
just go away.
Like you got like Garoppolo, Phillip Rivers, Matt Stafford.
Wait, where's Phillip Rivers?
He's right in the middle.
I'll take that. I thought you were saying he's at the bottom.
No. So like there's that tier we were just talking about, and then there's the other tier with Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins and Alex Smith and all them, and he's standing right dead smack in the middle of them. He's like right above.
He's not better than any of them.
He's like laughing at Eli on that.
Eli's a lot worse than that.
But Eli's holding his 2 rings up, so everyone's like, we don't know where to place him. Some of us have him where he probably belongs at the bottom.
Some people are playing this man
in the Hall of Fame category. He's probably getting in, but that's just based on rings. That's just based on how many rings do you have.
Yeah, I mean, They're not wrong, but
He's
I'm
not.
putting him in there. I get it. He's going in because of the fucking rings, and
We agree, man. That sucks, though.
it does suck.
That's gonna be a bad day for the
It's
Hall of
gonna be
Fame.
a-
Speaking of Hall of Fame, you're wearing Ray Lewis, and I'm wearing Brian Dawkins' college jersey. It's the Hall of Fame edition of JD Sports, as you see. Is it not though? Like,
I'm not even there. I'm
do you
just stuck
disagree?
Like, it's gonna be a bad
Is it not a bad day for the Hall of Fame today?
Let's see who else is going in. Who's gonna be eligible? Adrian Peterson. Might be a good day. Adrian's still gonna be playing over the weekend.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like 65.
Rushing for 100 yards in week 1, getting everyone's hopes up again.
Yeah. Witten might go in same time-ish.
Witten will go
No,
in earlier.
Witten's first ballot, so yeah.
He'll go in earlier.
Yeah, he's first ballot.
I'm trying to think of who might go in at the same time as him.
Who is close to that?
So
I
Eli's
guess-
got who's going to
Breeze-
retire the
Breeze
next
will
3
be
years?
around.
Okay, Breeze. That's a good day for the Hall of Fame.
I don't think they go in at the same time though. Breeze first ballot, Eli,
Third.
It's interesting.
Eli's got to be
It's
first ballot.
interesting. Yeah. By default, he's going
Okay,
to be
'cause
of
as
his
I
ring.
say-
Because of his rings,
All right.
only he's first ballot. That's the shitty
And
part.
let me put it
so
to you
let me
this
get this
way.
straight.
It's not
we
the
just
Hall of
established.
Stats, it's the Hall of Fame.
He ain't famous.
But he, well, isn't he though? He's the second famous Manning brother.
His pound face that we saw is famous. I don't know if he's famous. Isn't that sad though? Drew Brees and Eli Manning might go in the Hall of Fame the same day.
If they
How much?
retire at the same time.
How much of a
Who else
discrepancy is that?
Who else do we got? I guess defensive players. I'm trying to think of defensive players that might retire in the next 3 or 4 years.
I was trying to think. I can't think of.
Great
offense.
defensive players. Great offensive linemen. Jason Peters
know.
from the Eagles. He'll go in there.
In 3 years, he's retiring.
Yeah, he's old. Jason Peters might retire this
Jason
year.
Peters, I'm thinking of. I don't know why. I just.
You think of Lane Johnson?
I have no clue why, but yeah.
Just as dominant.
Uh,
But he's got to do a lot longer to be
Right.
Hall of Fame considered. I think Jason Peters gets in Hall of Fame worthy just because of what he did in Buffalo and then to resurge his career in Philly the way he
Right.
did. He's been there for 10 years and he was old when he came to Philly and he's been, I mean, even on Thursday night he was dominant. It was fun to watch.
if Julius Peppers ever retires.
Yeah, okay, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Great example. AJ Hawk, maybe, like he'll get votes. I'm not
Sure.
saying he gets in.
JJ Watt, maybe.
Yeah, right.
He might have a few more.
Yeah, he's injury-wise.
Yeah,
Injury-wise,
right.
we got to see where he goes.
Yeah.
Okay, but those kind of guys. Marshawn Lynch get votes. I'm not saying he gets in.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to see Eli and Marshawn get in the same year.
It's gonna be a sad day for the Hall of Fame.
That's a great day for the Hall of Fame. Marshawn Lynch
That's
is.
a funny day for the Hall of Fame.
Marshawn Lynch gonna have the best speech of all time, while Eli has
That's
the
why
worst.
he ain't
speech
getting in
of
the
all
first
time.
year.
That's true.
That's why.
He's gonna have to
if
hold his
T.O.
at
had to
Cal.
sit.
He's gonna have to
Yeah.
hold his at Cal.
First of all, T.O. had to sit. You know Marshawn's gonna have to sit. Second of all, you know Marshawn's gonna be the second one that don't show up.
Marshawn ain't first ballot. Yeah, you're right.
He's gonna be
Marshawn.
the second one.
Marshawn's doing it. Yeah.
Bet. He's the second one that don't show up.
All right, so we have nothing else to say about the Jets and the Lions, I guess, do we? Because we just went through a whole thing about how Matthew Stafford won't be in the Hall of Fame, and here we are talking about Marshawn Lynch and Eli in the Hall of Fame. That's a great conversation. I love when we do that, Dwight. I'm totally done with the Jets and Lions, by the way. Both of them look trash the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
Jets don't look this good the rest of the year, and the Lions look this bad the rest of the year.
Alright.
All right.
Revis might go in. Maybe Revis. Maybe about that time. Darrell Revis.
Yeah, but is he first ballot? People will say no
I don't
because
think
his
Eli's
interceptions.
first ballot. I mean, he has to be, but
His interceptions are low. Revis for cornerbacks, he'll actually probably have the second or third lowest interceptions. But the argument I will always stand on Revis interceptions ratio is they never threw to his
Right,
side.
right,
You can't pick the ball off if they don't throw it to you.
Barry Bonds hit so many home runs because they weren't throwing it to him.
They literally threw the ball to his side 5 times
Right.
one year and he picked it off twice. Like, what
Right.
more can you ask for the guy? Like, there's nothing else he could do.
Right.
Oh, by the way, in those 5 times, they only completed it once.
All right,
Like,
that's called Hall of Fame.
yeah, and he might not get in first ballot because people are going to hold the interceptions against him. It's absolutely
Well, that's
ridiculous.
stupid. Anyway.
Other Monday night game, Rams. 4th quarter for the ages, speaking of Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Marcus Peters pulled the Marshawn, hold my nuts as I'm diving into the end zone.
It was beautiful. I laughed.
It was funny.
That's
Marshawn
right.
carried 5 guys into the end zone in the first quarter. That was a pretty great play. The
He's still a
of
monster.
the rest of that game was a little iffy. The Rams couldn't get it going until the 4th quarter. Rams defense looked dominant. I mean, Derek Carr
complete control.
Derek Carr, I think he's still looking for receivers right now. Like, he just can't find anyone to throw to. Amari Cooper...
He's just not as good as everybody says he is.
I hate to say this, but Amari Cooper's not as good as I thought he was. Amari Cooper was the guy to me. I thought he was going to be the guy to step up last year. Game 1 this year, I'm almost... I hate to say, but the Raiders are as bad as I thought they were going to be, and I was kind of hoping watching the game last night that they weren't going to be. I was like, all right, let's... No, they were just...
Your boy, Derek Carr, though.
I like Cooper better, and I just like their offense in general. Carr's not a bad quarterback, but he's looked garbage last...
He's looked garbage. He had 1 year.
A couple of games last year, but not enough to do it. How about Michael Crabtree having a way bigger game than any receiver for the Raiders? Now, I'm not just talking one. I'm talking all the receivers.
Jordy Nelson didn't do anything?
No, but it was bad. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the only one who caught anything.
It was just bad. It was horrible look. Shouts to Gruden. Good old coach.
Could have used a defensive... Some pressure on the quarterback. I told you before the show started, there was a quote that he made apparently after the game. I don't remember it exactly, but the gist of it was basically, we don't know, or he didn't know why he wasn't able to get pressure on the quarterback tonight. And I was just like, nobody had the nerve to just be like, as I said to you,
Did you watch the game last night, Coach? Because you said I'm packing.
John Gruden.
Come on, man.
Will be chasing the next 10 years to find the next Khalil Mack for his defense.
Horrible.
And here we are.
Why didn't you get pressure on the quarterback? The pressure left, bro. You had the pressure.
Why didn't you call him?
You didn't want to pay the pressure.
Could you imagine? Like, why didn't he just call him?
That's all you had to do. He literally just was like, oh, well, he's not talking to me, so...
If he would have made contact with me, right, he said that Khalil Mack didn't want to be with the Raiders. Well, no,
you're the coach.
You gotta make that, you gotta make him feel like the Raiders want him to be there as well. I mean, that's a two-way street.
You're the new guy here. What you mean?
Also, by the way, who's gonna be the more mature person in this situation? The coach who's gonna need the player, or the player that can go play anywhere and get that money?
And basically, well, I don't want to call him a kid, but to John Gruden, he's a kid. Like,
yeah, right. But I'm saying, like, the difference here is who should have been the one to step up. John Gruden should have been the one who'd been like, no, the Raiders want you to be a Raider. You know what I mean?
You are Oakland. You are Oakland.
You just got paid $100 million. $10 million a year for 10 years. You were getting $100 million no matter what over the next 10 years.
I mean, I got that Bret Hart contract.
Why can't you just reach out to the guy?
I don't know. I don't get it either.
What are they paying you for?
It's literally on you. And, like, I think I brought it up last week. Bro, why then was the owner of Oakland, whoever the hell that is, why were they just letting this man just run?
Al Davis' son.
Why was he... You think Al Davis would have... I have a question. Do you really think Al Davis would let that man walk? Because I damn sure don't.
Al Davis
He'd have been like, look here, Coach.
Yeah. We have to have a conversation with Khalil Mack.
He would have done that.
Yeah, they absolutely needed to.
Why didn't this man tell John Gruden, yo, you in charge of everything, but we can't let this one walk?
The Bears got a Hall of Fame talent for 2 first-round picks, and they got a second-round pick in return.
Hall of Fame talent. And then...
I'm not saying he goes to Hall of Fame. Worse, I'm saying he has Hall of Fame talent.
And he comes out week 1 with no preparation.
Snap count. He was on a snap count. They were not letting him play more than 30 snaps. And in his first 21 snaps, he made more impact than anybody in the history of the NFL has ever made an impact on a football field, defensive stat-wise. And by the way, the only person to ever get close to doing that was Khalil Mack 2 years ago. Apparently he did all of that except for the sack.
Right. I heard that. Right.
What?
He's easily front runner for defensive player of the year already.
Yeah, week one. I got your defensive player of the week.
Ain't that crazy?
I got your defensive player of the week right here.
Already.
I know. I'm saying that. We're week 1 in though.
That's a damn right. We're week 1 in.
Exactly. He got more stats than the rest of the league.
This is nuts, dude. Like it's gonna be him and J.J. Watt apparently. Like damn, you let that walk because you were too stubborn to pick up the phone and talk to this man. For whatever reason,
we
want to change the culture. We want to do this. We want to do that.
Myles Garrett was pretty dominant defensively as well.
He wasn't Khalil Mack.
No.
Come on, man. And they're not gonna let that man walk like Oakland just let this man walk away. For 2 draft.
John Gruden.
Man, I tell you,
you gave them a second-round pick too.
You want to talk about Philly special? That's a Philly special.
You gave them next year's second-round pick.
Yeah, bro. The Philly special. We've been lying for a year, bro. You know what the Philly special is? It's we gonna trade you and get some draft picks because we're building for the future. Got it. That's the Philly special, bro. I've been wrong. That's trust the process,
You might win the Super Bowl.
That's trust the process,
You might win the Super Bowl.
Hey, there it is. You might be having Joel Embiid one day. We see you, John Gruden. Or you're just gonna be like every other coach that comes back. You gonna be trash. You gonna be alright. You gonna be alright. As in alright, like Bill Parcells. Like you gonna be respectable at least, but you ain't gonna do nothing when you come to Dallas. You ain't gonna do nothing, John Gruden. You gonna be respectable, but you ain't gonna do shit.
John Gruden. I'm afraid it's gonna be a long 10 years if it looks anything like it did from training camp to week 1. I mean, they got absolutely destroyed in the fourth quarter of game 1, and they did not. They have nothing's gone well since he's gone there.
No,
they don't have a stadium to play in next year. Right now, Oakland does not have a stadium to play in next year. The Oakland Raiders.
He's got the money to pay for it. So what's the problem?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
The Vegas one won't be ready till the year after.
He made the biggest finesse job in the history of the NFL. I'll tell you what, because, like this man was gone for a decade, comes in, makes $100 million based on hype, history, and a truck that he drove around on Monday nights and talked to quarterbacks. That's what he made $100 million on. Really?
He was running empty sets and wide receiver sweeps and things that you don't really see Gruden do. So it looked like he was trying to be innovative, but you lost 33-13. So did it work?
No. And you were at home. That's a division rival too. On top of that, like really? Really?
No, it's not a division rival.
Whatever. It's a fucking rival, basically.
Yeah, they're right down the road from each other. They used to both be in LA.
Come on, man. He just pulled the biggest finesse job in history in NFL. I'm saying that. It's only week 1. Even they come back and win, come on, man.
I hear you.
Come on, man. And I wouldn't even be saying that and feeling that type of way if you didn't just let your man walk like you just did.
Right, the Khalil Mack thing. You didn't
even let him walk. You literally got rid of him. That's even worse than letting him walk. You literally just was like, bye.
I was skeptical. Remember, I was skeptical when he let go of the great punter that they had. When he let go of
Marquette.
When he let go of Michael Crabtree just because he wanted to get Jordy Nelson in there for...
And I was in on that, that's fine.
Right, no, but what I'm saying is I was a little skeptical of the moves he was making because I was like, I don't know if this is really how you should do this in 2018. And then here we are, he gets to the Khalil Mack situation, he goes, what do I always say about Chip Kelly? He made the wrong move in training camp year 1 and he lost the locker room that day. That's a move that loses the locker room, the Khalil Mack thing, right?
Yeah.
You hope it's not the case for him, but that's kind of how I always see these things. I always try to look at them through those scopes of what happened in the past, and this is something that can make the locker room, we talked about it last week, divided, and here we are week 1, didn't win. If you don't win, winning is the only thing that might cure this, and Chip Kelly won 9 games and then 10 games and it didn't cure it. So, do you know what I mean? So, that's not always even the thing that cure it, but losing 33-13 week 1 is not a good start.
No. I don't know.
Dwight, this show is based off of a little rivalry that we have in our sports teams, me being an Eagles fan, you being a Cowboys fan. So let's get to the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles opened up on Thursday.
Didn't watch it.
They looked good on defense. Offense could move the ball but couldn't get it.
I didn't watch the damn thing because of the damn banner, and God was just like, oh, it's going to rain a lot.
The banner was awesome, but it felt a little rushed. Obviously, because they wanted to get kickoff out, which I understand. I wanted to watch kickoff as well, ready for the season to start. I was talking about how, it was the champs, but here we are. Once that banner was dropped, that's it. It's over. It was fun.
Pretty much.
Good game to watch. I got super tired. I got right to the end of it.
This man said good game to watch. For who?
For the Eagles fans.
And it wasn't a good game to watch for y'all either, because it was still kind of
a bunch of fourth down stops. I mean, it wasn't just the offense. Nick Foles. And it wasn't even the offense. Nick Foles was They ran the ball pretty well.
Okay, so that's the offense.
Yeah, exactly. Your quarterback is the offense. But they ran the ball pretty well. Wide receivers were catching balls.
It was the biggest preseason game ever to open an NFL season, and I was just like, wow.
Zach Ertz dropped 2 passes, which he didn't drop a pass in all of last season, so hopefully that's not a trend.
Not even just because it's a Philly thing. I just thought, the game in general, I was just like, this is a weak opener. It really was.
Atlanta didn't
do shit.
But see, okay, I think that the Eagles' defense is pretty good, so, Julio went off, and that was it.
Right.
And that was kind of what I thought the game plan was going to be. That's what the Eagles have done against Julio the last 4 times they played him. They've let Julio go off, and they beat them every time. They let Julio go off. He got over 100 yards in 3 of the last 4 times he's played them, and they've lost all of them.
Doesn't make it a fun game to watch.
No, but that was the game plan. That was what I thought the Eagles were going to try to do, and it worked.
I thought Philly was going to get blown out, and Atlanta just took a huge L.
Atlanta's usually, last year, they were much better in Atlanta. They, again, the play calling, I mean, 47 passes and 13 runs. And look, I will honestly...
I know, because I got Devontae Freeman, too.
As an Eagles fan, I was excited as I saw in the second half, they were passing and passing and passing, because I was like, in the first half, they only ran it about 6 times, but they had like 8 yards a carry. And I think they ended up with like 11 rushes or 17 rushes overall for 6+ yards a carry, but they didn't rush it at all.
No.
And I mean, I was very excited about that because it was a close game the whole time. They could have rushed the ball. They were running the ball pretty well every time they did. Never got around to it. Worked out for the Eagles, obviously. Play Tampa this week, so we'll get into that when we do our picks. Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm laughing because it's not even a conversation for me.
Your team, Cowboys, went to Carolina.
Speaking of nothing.
It was a sloppy game. It was a rainy game. Carolina's got a good front seven and a good defense. So I'm not saying that the Cowboys' offense didn't look horrific.
Oh, people are losing their minds. I'm just like,
right. That's where
down a little
week
bit.
It's week one, and what did I say earlier about you take a couple weeks to sometimes get into it. The offensive line at times looked pretty bad, but again, it's a really good front seven. But overall, they didn't look that bad.
Game.
It was a rainy game. Dak wasn't super accurate, but again, it was a rainy game.
Right, and then number 3, I was just like, what are y'all reacting to? Like, I've been said that team, like, we have no weapons.
Right, and that's the other thing. There's not much playmakers outside of Zeke.
Yeah, everybody was acting like it was shocking. I was
Dak
just like, what have you been paying
good,
attention to?
But, I mean, that's kind of been Dak the last couple.
He had a decent year last year.
Yeah, but the last couple of weeks into the season as it got cold, he didn't really look all that great. Again, this was a rainy game, though. The weather was not good for passing downfield.
This is another one of those games where I'm just like...
Do they have a guy to go downfield other than Tavon Austin, though? I don't really think so.
No, and he ain't the one. But this was another one of those games, it was a pain to watch. I barely wanted to focus on it, barely did, just because it was just terrible. Terrible play. And the Cowboys defense is not that good, so that stopped that. But it's just another one of those games where it's week 1 and just all the factors around it, you can't really overreact. I'm not going to either way, but it didn't look good. It looked really bad. We got to see where Dallas goes moving forward, but considering they have nothing other than Zeke and that offensive line, which isn't as bad as it
you weren't
was
expecting
looking
like before the season. You said that
it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad.
But as bad
I think it's going to be
I
think it's going to be a bad year. Don't get it wrong for Cowboys. I think it's going to be a bad year, but
it's not going to look as atrocious as it did.
No. I think people just need to relax on
that.
that.
As the season goes, the offense will open up.
Yeah. But no, Tavon Austin, he ain't the one. I heard Des Bryant's still available though. By the way, I heard Dan Bailey's still available though. Shout to that bum kicker that just missed his first kick.
Everyone's all mad about Des tweeting on.
He didn't even say anything. I went on his timeline and he's tweeted like twice and he didn't really say anything until he said something about Dan Bailey. He just put it in all caps and he put a laughing face, which I thought was funny.
He was right.
Right. And I said the same thing. I added Dallas said, by the way, fucking Dan Bailey's available. What the fuck? But he didn't say anything. He wasn't really tweeting. He tweeted like twice, and it wasn't
anything.
And I was like, and then like the third tweet he sent, or before the Dan Bailey one, he was like, I'm just gonna stop talking about Dallas because y'all are blowing everything out of proportion. And I was like, he didn't even say anything. Literally, not even like, oh, he didn't say anything. He said something, but he didn't say anything. No, he literally wasn't even tweeting like that. So I was like,
crazy.
What are people losing minds about?
I had no idea. I saw it and I was like, all right.
I don't know. Not a good look for Dallas, though.
Keeping it in the NFC East, the Washington Redskins blew out the Arizona Cardinals. The only game we were different on, right?
What did I tell you about Adrian Peterson?
All right, so 100 yards by him. How about Alex Smith looking like a world beater?
What I tell you?
Arizona sucks. I think we can all agree. So let's. Again, I'm not going to hit the panic button as a rival of them. Washington ain't any good. Their defense is
Adrian Peterson ain't gonna keep that up, but he gonna be alright.
Does Alex Smith keep up what he did?
Sure, I think he could. There's a potential there. Sure, he could Alex Smith it. He could have a good year. That doesn't mean they're going to.
That's what he gives you usually.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't mean they're going to go to Super Bowl, but he can have a good year. Sure. I don't think Adrian Peterson. He doesn't do that to the duration.
No, and I don't think their offensive line can do that against better defenses.
I think
that's another thing. Better defensive lines like Carolina, Philadelphia. Atlanta, Seattle,
I was gonna say I think it makes it interesting for divisional games, but
LA. Yeah, it will. It will make it very interesting for us, all of us. But yeah, I'm with you. Doesn't excite me because I don't want it to be interesting in the division.
And I don't want to see Adrian Peterson.
I don't want to see Alex Smith be any good either. You don't want the hot Alex Smith the one week he gets hot. You know what I mean? You don't want that. He's good sometimes, and you don't want you to be that sometimes.
No.
How about the G-men? Looking like all they did was add a good running back.
Hey, I'm glad you said that.
But that's it though, right?
No. Talk about overreactions and shit.
He had one good run.
Thank you, because I was facing that team in fantasy who had the person who drafted him #1 overall, which that's a whole other stupid conversation, but whatever. They beat me in fairness, whatever, fine.
Did she?
She did. I told you that. I fucking lost because my running backs.
I didn't put it together like that.
None of my running backs did anything.
Until you
Devontae Freeman,
yeah,
nothing.
Right.
Derrick Henry, the rain thing in Tennessee,
yeah,
nothing.
That was crazy.
And then Kareem Hunt. He didn't get the touchdown because the other dude got it. Yeah, I lost to her. I fucking laughed. I was like, whatever. But back to Barkley. He had one run. Otherwise, he was pretty much checked. Like, he was just kind of going through the motions.
He was within 3 or 4 yards almost every carry. Some of them were even negative.
One big-ass run puts him over 100.
He had a great catch that only went for about 5 yards.
And I'm not even hating on this man, but everybody was like, well, did you see? I saw one play, which was
fantastic
good, but
run.
Pump the brakes.
And that's what he's there for, is to open up. That's what. Okay, so and I try to say this about people because in college it was every play you could see Shaquan's better than everybody else.
Right, yeah. And you're not going to see that now.
In the NFL, what it's going to be is it's going to be one play a game that he breaks like he just did. That's going to be the difference sometimes in NFL games as well. You might win a game by 3 points, and it might be his 160-yard run because he broke it off, and you're just going to have to run it 18 times a game with him to get that. It's not like it is in college though, where 7 carries, 87 yards. You know what I mean? It's just not how it goes.
Right.
And I think that's what people were expecting, and you're not wrong. That's how people are acting.
Look, and I'm not going and I'm not taking anything
and
away
from him. I'm with you.
Look, Zeke did put up 100. He hit. Cool. Not hating on the man, but
he popped off a great run.
Great run. Hated it because I faced it, but you know.
But other than him and Odell, it just looks like
I don't even know.
the Giant. Odell had he had like 8 catches for like 80-some yards. He looked okay. It was a good start for him to get back into it off of an injury. And also he was playing Jalen Ramsey, probably the best corner, if not top 5 corner by far
other than that
in the league. Right. They looked lousy. And defensively,
they look like an Eli Manning team.
And they look like the Giants. I mean, they're not a threat.
No,
Washington, I think, is more of a threat than them.
100%.
Right, that's not good. That's
1,000% actually. This ain't gonna be a situation where Giants sneak in on a wild card 8-8 like this and they do something. No, that team's not. This is not that team. It's not. Washington.
They're gonna have to.
I think Washington's better than 8-8. They might get 10, and I think overreaction week 1, but not really because I said we both said the Giants are going to be at the bottom of this. So.
Yeah, we were both on board with Washington and Dallas being the people to fighting in the middle.
Right.
Where the Giants, we just didn't see it because all we saw was them adding a running back, and we didn't see anything else, and that's all it is.
Literally, and the rest of the team still. Better. Nah. If they were smart, they would have put Dez on the opposite side of Odell, but whatever. They didn't do that. I don't get why they didn't do that. I guess because Brandon Marshall really didn't work.
They have a decent... Sterling Shepard's not bad. I don't think they have a third wide receiver, so why not move Sterling Shepard to the third wide receiver and have Dez as your second wide receiver? Then you have 3 good wide receivers. I'm not saying don't do it.
You know who has 0 wide receivers on his fantasy team? Me. So get all the wide receivers you can get.
Teams with good wide receivers. Dwight. There was a tie.
There was. Holy shit. Speaking of things that people need to shut up about, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Go straight to Cleveland. Go ahead.
They didn't lose.
Bro, they lost. People stop. People need to stop. I get it. No, bro. If you tied, if you ain't win, you lost.
All right. So
if you ain't win, you lost.
That's fine. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Come on, man.
My side of this is. You can't feel...
First of all, the brain was out of control.
It was out of control, but you kind of still feel like you lost. Both teams...
You have to both feel
neither team felt like they had to feel good about what happened that day because of how it happened.
Right. And again, the rain was abysmal.
It was dripping off of their caps.
You can't really...
Dripping.
Yeah. You can't really overreact, speaking of week 1, but especially in that type of scenario, but you can't feel good about tying.
So,
against the divisional rival... Especially when you're Pittsburgh and you're facing the Browns.
But
Dude.
To come back from 14 down in the fourth.
Great. Shouts to them.
To pick Ben Roethlisberger off 5 times. Rain or not, 5 interceptions is a lot.
No, but again, overreactions.
2 of them were
people
bad.
Need to pop it down.
I hear you.
There was and like yeah right and
2 of them were just really. Atrocious.
I don't know how many it was, but it was at least 2 of the 2 of them were just tipped.
Yeah.
Like tipped.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like wide receivers like they went in and out.
Bounced
So
off their hands.
they weren't all on him, but he also fumbled. Ben also fumbled.
Yeah.
So like at least let's say 3 of the 5 were on him. That's still way too much, but at least 2 of them that I recall seeing were on the wide receivers.
So
okay, cool. Still too many turnovers. Way too many.
What I really want to get to is because we could talk about Cleveland and Pittsburgh and the tie and this and that.
Pittsburgh love ties, don't they? I feel like they're always in a tie.
We talked about Le'Veon Bell last week.
Sure did.
I had a new theory later in the week as we got closer to game day.
What's that?
Didn't he say last year that he was going to sit all season?
Yes, he did. What's he doing right now?
Do you think he's going to sit all season?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so. You know what? Look.
Nothing against the Steelers. Nothing against.
No. I don't care
they're
about
the only
Steelers.
actual threat to the Patriots if they have him in my eyes.
Sure. I
In
think
the
I
AFC.
think I even picked them.
But
Yeah, I did.
on principle,
Yeah, right. 1,000%.
That's where we're both at on this.
Because I can't stand. Well, here I am. I'm gonna do this, but then I don't. I can't stand that. So if he sticks it out, he's my new hero.
because
He might be my next non-Cowboy jersey if he does that, because that's just funny to me.
He
That's great.
said last year before the
It won't
playoff
be.
game. He said last year before the playoff game.
Mhm.
I am not playing under the franchise tag. I'm not playing 1 week under
Good.
the franchise tag. He said I'm not playing 1 game under the franchise tag next year.
And look here. I mean, if
We
it's-
are in next year. He is under the franchise tag, and he did not play week 1. And as we got closer to the week, I was like, you know what? Why isn't anybody talking about that? Everyone's talking about will he show up this week? Will he show up next week? Will he show up before game time? Will he show?
showing up.
No, that's like the conversation has never been extended to. What if he doesn't show up at all this season? And I think that that's something that needs to be talked about. I think we might have a situation.
pick up the phone first, and that's the
But you can't pay him anymore. Pittsburgh has already pigeonholed themselves into a situation where if he was going to sit all season, he has already decided he is going to sit all season no matter what you do.
I don't know.
Even if your team calls him out.
I don't know if he does it.
I don't know if he does it
want him to.
either.
I don't think he does.
But I was thinking as I was getting closer to game time, I was like, all right, I get it's just Cleveland and I get why everyone's focused on it's just this week.
People were losing their mind because I forget the guy's name, but he was having a decent little game. The
Connor,
running back,
yeah,
Connor,
Connor,
yeah, he was
game.
having a little good
Yeah,
game.
for sure.
And people were like, oh, Le'Veon who? And then
Yeah.
did you see what Le'Veon tweeted at the end of it? The little
The
it's like a Sherlock Holmes emoji.
where he's holding
looking at the
arrow glass.
Yeah, right. And he's like, huh, really? I thought that was
Good
fun.
game?
That's great. I like that.
Y'all didn't win against the
Hello.
Browns.
Hello.
Look, I say this all the time, and I think that if, as I said to you last week, if I know this, then Le'Veon Bell's agent knows this, and the Steelers know this. The Steelers' chances of beating good teams, they have no chance without Le'Veon Bell. They lost
Zero.
to they lost to the Eagles 34-3 when he was suspended 2 years ago. He got hurt in the AFC Championship. They lost to the Patriots. They win most of the games he plays in. Like, that's not a coincidence. Their worst games are when he's not there, especially against championship contending teams. And
You just tied to the fucking prize.
and my thing is, like, if I know that, his agent knows that. And if his agent knows that, the Steelers know that. And there was at some point that you can't even pick the phone up at the moment and call him and make this better. Now I don't know what happens. I don't know what you do. All you can hope is that he wants to. I'm.
At this point, he's laughing. He ain't coming back week 2. I promise you that.
So you and I. So you're on my side. That I'm not saying it happens. I'm not saying he sits the whole season, but I'm saying keep your eye on
Yeah,
it.
he's chilling right now.
He might.
Especially after that. Are you kidding me? A tie
He might.
against the Browns? He's laughing.
He might sit all
This
season.
is helping his case.
A tie.
Please, a tie to Cleveland.
Okay, so everyone also hates ties. People were talking about that all week. Here's my way to fix it in the NFL. You ready for this? Because everyone wants to go, oh, well, I want to go to college route. How about we go college route, but you start from the 50, not the 25,
How about you just score?
in the 70 minutes you're allotted? Okay.
Like I'm at that level. I'm cool with ties. Look here.
I'm cool with ties too.
When ties happen, I'm like, really?
I'm not against ties.
Right. I'm when they happen, I'm like, really? That we ended in a tie? But I'm more so saying, really, because you couldn't score. No, I don't. Some people are saying a college thing. Some people are saying let's do different things.
If we go to a different version, if we want to go to the college version, can we go from the 50 instead of the 25?
Sure, but
I would rather that.
I don't think we have the defense. No,
I don't think
these defenses. What are you paying these guys for?
I don't think we need to fix this. I'm cool with ties as well. I'm with you, Dwight. Like I'm 110% with you.
What? How long is the overtime period? I know they cut the time.
10 minutes.
That's plenty of time. How many possessions does each team have?
But in
2?
but in the postseason it's 15 minutes because you can just play forever.
Well, then make it 15. I don't care what number you attach to it.
No, I'm cool with the regular season being 10.
Yeah, I mean,
if you can't,
10 is cool with me too. Like
yeah.
I wasn't. It don't need to be 12. Like I don't even understand or whatever 15. I don't even understand why they cut it back. I think that's kind of whatever to me too. But apparently it wouldn't have made a difference. Like you got 10 minutes, presumably. I guess both teams got the ball twice. I'm assuming you can't put up 3 in that time frame. Ties don't bother me. I'm gonna laugh at you because that's sad and pathetic, especially considering the team devolved. Again, it was a rain situation, but that's redundant.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like
ties don't bother me.
No, keep them. It's cool. Score, damn score.
Staying in the NFC.
You pay to score.
North.
Kick the fucking ball.
Staying in the NFC North.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens won 56.
That's not what I'm wearing. I swear to God.
To 3. 47-3, something like that. All right. So, Dwight, I said to you before the show that I was thinking about opening up the show to laugh at the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if I can think of a dumber move in the history of my life. All right, let's not go history. Let's go in my lifetime in sports. Can you name a franchise doing something dumber than? Okay, here. Actually, what's dumber? Trading Khalil Mack for 2 first-round picks.
Pretty fucking dumb.
Or trading your quarterback, who you sat last year in the middle of the season for this guy who's named Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman in the middle of the season. All right, so what happened is last year, right? You had a guy named Tyrod Taylor. You were winning. You were I think 5-5 at the time. You lost 2 games in a row because of your defense at the end of both games. But you sat your quarterback to try to spark the team. Nathan Peterman then throws 5 interceptions in less than a half. So then you put Tyrod Taylor back in, and you only end up losing that game by 3. You make it to the playoffs because Tyrod Taylor drags your bad team to the playoffs. You lost.
Okay.
So you got rid of Tyrod Taylor and you said, we're going to start Nathan Peterman this year.
So what's that? Where's that or Khalil Mack?
Yeah, that or Khalil Mack. What do you got?
Shit.
Because both.
I mean, I guess.
Both after week 1 of
Khalil
2018.
I'll still go
okay, all right, that's fine. But this is a close second.
Yeah.
Both after week 1 of 2018 look like the dumbest moves I've ever seen in football. This isn't like that's.
We talked about how ignorant that shit was.
The Cleveland Browns went 0-16 last year. They just tied the Pittsburgh Steelers.
A team that never gets to the playoffs, don't win playoffs. Like really?
The Bills got rid of Tyrod Taylor.
Like you said, a guy that just carried your sorry ass team, and you said, peace out. We don't need him because we got.
Y'all started Nathan Peterman.
We got this guy named Nathan. What did Nathan Peterman do at home against the Baltimore Ravens?
It was on the road.
Which apparently were the 2000 Ravens.
It was on the road.
Apparently.
It was on the road.
Oh, well, fine.
I think he threw 4 picks.
I feel so much better about that.
I'm fairly sure he threw 4 picks.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Are the Bills worse than the Browns are as far as like the worst franchise and all?
At the moment?
The worst franchise in just history.
In the history? No.
History of NFL.
Browns
are
as low as it gets, but the Bills are creeping in on them, especially over the last 20 years.
I was gonna say, I mean, Bills had that stretch and they lost all those Super Bowl appearances.
Right. And the Browns have the most epic loss in the playoff history. The second most epic loss. The Oilers have the most epic loss to the Bills. But
man, the Bills are a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, 0 Super Bowls.
0 Super Bowls. I don't even know. Did Shady play? I don't remember hearing anything about LaShawn McCoy playing.
Yeah,
what did he do?
6 rushes for 25 yards, 1 catch for -1 yard.
6 rushes. So you hand the ball off to LaShawn McCoy. Your only threat out there, you gave him the ball 6 times? 6 times. Wow.
Nathan Peterman almost threw the ball to the Ravens that many times. So you don't think the Ravens are actually world-class Super Bowl contenders?
Fuck no,
It was
they're
just
not
the
doing
Bills
that against
being missed out.
anybody.
I agree.
They're not doing that against anybody. They're not doing it against. They won't do that against the Browns. Like
So,
no.
lucky for Baltimore, they got the game one, the extra preseason game, I guess you can say. Do we pick the Bills in any game this season?
No, I don't.
Do they go 0-16? Can we proclaim right now? We're on 0-16 watch after week 1 with the Bills. Yes?
Ain't that bitch.
We're on 0-16 watch right now with the Bills? All right. Glad to hear it.
What happens when they play the Jets?
The Jets win. The Jets.
We're that definitive.
So the Jets got one.
We're already
The Jets
definitive.
already got one win.
That's
So now that's
damn
3.
shame.
I'm locking the Jets in for 3 wins this year already.
Damn.
Because they got one now, and then they play the Bills twice. That is 3.
We got 3 definitive wins for the Jets after week 1.
Woo! They're back, baby. Jets, Jets.
Did the Browns get a win? Oh, did they get a win? I was going, oh, damn. Never
Yeah, the
mind.
Browns will get a win. Not in the first 6 weeks, but they get a win.
Before the Bills?
The Bills don't win a game this year. I'm on 0-16 watch right now. This is JD Sports 0-16 Bill watch. You in?
Yeah.
This is like our Titans to the Super Bowl last year watch.
I'm not picking the Bills.
Speaking of the Titans and the longest game in the history of football, funnier story. At work last week, I met a Titans fan, and he laughed, right? So I told him how our friend Tony said to us last year that even if the Titans win the Super Bowl, they will fire Mike Munchak. And then they fired him after the playoff win. Well, the dude lost it when I said that. He was like, you know what? They probably would have. And he just could not stop laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing he's ever heard. He was like, that's the most accurate statement of all time. Because, like, it doesn't matter what they do. They're going to fire everybody and be bad again eventually. That's how he looked at it. Now, I did tell him, I think my friend Tony looked at it in the other way, like they're going to fire him and get better. But I didn't, that's neither here
Did
nor
you tell
there.
him about the tattoo?
No.
That would have been.
I decided against it. I thought about it. No.
That's the story I wanted to hear. I didn't care about the coach. I wanted to hear his reaction about the
I like Tony.
Well, the tattoo's still there. He ain't covered up yet. He ain't put a one beside it either.
Yeah, but he wears pants everywhere, I assume. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows it's there.
Try so hard to cover it.
Yeah, I don't tell people.
Bro, even last year when that shit was relevant, he still tried so hard to cover it because I guess after it was like buyer's remorse. He was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't something I should have done.
Maybe we're a year away from being a year away, maybe.
Bro, he did. I was actually speaking of. I was talking to this man last night, and he kind of hit me with it. I literally said, "Bro, you literally just hit me with the 76ers," because he was like, he said something about I forget the exact quote.
2 years away from me, 2 years away, baby.
It was around that type of fucking statement, and I literally was like, "Oh, you hit me with the Philadelphia thing." Got it.
So
Fucking A.
longest game in football history due to weather.
Another running back that didn't do anything for me. Thanks,
They
Derrick
started
Henry.
that game at 1 p.m. in the East. They ended that game at 7:22 in the East.
Shout out to all those jabronis that actually stayed there for that. Like,
That
what were
would've
those people doing?
That would have sucked.
People stayed.
I wouldn't. I know. I saw it.
What were
Not
they
a lot.
doing?
But there was about 2,000 people left at least.
What are you doing?
No
for
idea.
that?
Would have you? I
No.
wouldn't have stayed either.
You got me like I don't know. By hour 3, I'm asking questions. You ready? We starting this shit soon? Okay, we start again. Oh, we on another delay?
No,
You ready to
no.
go? You
Yeah,
ready to
no.
go? Fuck this.
Not another hour and 45
No,
minutes.
no, and I'm done. I'm out.
Tennessee also didn't look all that good, but it's hard, I guess, to look good when you're starting and stopping the game over and over and over. So I don't know if we can judge either team
No,
off of that. It was
not at
what,
all.
24-17 was the game. It wasn't really a football game. Halftime was a 5-minute commercial break, right? Did you see that?
Oh, that's all I needed to be. That's all I needed to be.
It was weird. The whole thing.
Yeah, their tight end, Delaney Walker goes out.
Out for the season.
Out for the season, bro. Their only guarantee threat. Gone for the year. It's a damn shame.
Titans are going to have a hard time.
Damn shame.
We were just talking about last week how we thought they were maybe playoff contenders at least. And
I don't know if I said that.
but I mean at minimum in the mix, not saying they were going to make it to the playoffs.
I don't know. I've been off the Titans bandwagon, so I don't know.
But that ends it almost. I mean, Delaney Walker, their
Yeah,
defense
that's
has to step up, and I don't know if that's possible.
Delaney Walker's gone. DeMarco Murray's gone. Mariota got hurt. He's apparently alright, but
I saw that.
that team's looking a little rough.
Keeping it in the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. one of 8 wins for Marvin Lewis this year. Starting early. Andrew Luck looked really good and got his team the whole way down to the 20-yard line, and then his tight end fumbled the ball inside the 5. And the Bengals picked it up and scored a touchdown, and the game ended.
Beautiful.
I'm excited for the Colts versus Washington this week. I think it's Washington might be a little overrated, and the Colts had a rough week 1, but we'll see how it goes from there.
Andrew Luck's a little overrated.
How do you feel about Cincinnati after that game? Still 8-8?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel nothing about them. I did think it was funny, little Andrew Luck's little post-game thing. I chuckled at it, and people were just like, "Oh, you see, he was so," because when he was like, "Man, I'm just so happy to be out."
Yeah, he was happy to be out there.
And I was like, "Shut up, bro." I was just like, "Shut up." Like, I get it, but I was just like, "Just shut up."
So
He
speaking
sounded
of,
like he was like 6 years old,
I know,
and he
yeah,
wasn't
I saw
picked. He was like a 6-year-old that wasn't picked last on the gym team, and he was just so happy. Yeah, I'm just so happy to be out here.
Yeah, I'm glad I was the 3rd pick.
Gee golly, I was just like, yo, shut up. Like, it was just too corny.
How about-
he don't get no shout outs from me. That was whack.
How about-
and he's like this all the time too. I'm just happy to be up there, man. I'm just happy to be a Colt. I was like, shut up. No, I ain't gonna let that corny shit slide. You gonna keep trying to let it slide. No, like, shut up. You can be excited. You can be happy. Cool, ain't nobody mad at you, but shut
I
up.
saw it. It was alright.
Just, I'm just so happy to be out. Shut up.
It's Andrew Luck.
Shut up.
He's always been dorky.
You're like 6 years old, bro. That was just bad. That was bad. It seemed forced and fake, actually. But whatever.
Maybe. Did you hear how he hurt his arm? Snowboarding?
No.
So apparently while he was off healing his throwing arm,
The son of a bitch had a nerve to go snowboarding?
while he was waiting for surgery, I guess 2 weekends before he had surgery, he went snowboarding and fell on it, and he hurt another part of it.
That's some ignorant ass shit.
Yeah, I guess it recovered like a lot faster than the surgery itself did, so it never got in the way or anything like that. But that's a good way to almost end your own career.
I was just happy to be out there in the snow. Corny.
San Francisco, Minnesota.
What about it?
2 teams that people were excited for, but we were both on the Minnesota bandwagon. We think their defense is really good. I think Kirk Cousins, he made a couple of really nice throws. But I think Kirk Cousins is an upgrade from what they had last year, and they were a good team last year. So,
And you're on a Jimmy G bandwagon. So clarify that.
yeah, I mean, I think that Jimmy G can win a couple games.
You still feel how great he is, huh?
8 to 10 games. I'm not saying they...
Apparently he was Andrew Luck Hall of Fame. It's going to be
I didn't
Andrew
say
Luck
that.
first
Everyone else
ballot, then
was
it's going to be
saying
Jimmy G.
See, I was never that
First
high on
ballot.
him, and we were both on the same page there. We talked about how he was bound to lose, obviously.
He's bound to be he was a little more than this past week. He was pretty garbage. We're going to see.
Yeah, we'll see. That was a really good defense. We'll see him against other defenses and what he can do.
He was a little garbage.
Minnesota looked great overall.
Sure.
Seattle and Denver. Look, shout out to Case Keenum, who I had zero faith in. I really thought Seattle was going to go in there and take that victory. Denver looked pretty good offensively and defensively. That was a good game overall. We touched base on every game, so I didn't want to leave that one out because it deserves due credit. Von Miller looked as dominant defensively as ever. So if he can stay on that form and they can keep their offense moving the way they did, they have a decent chance. 3 interceptions by Case Keenum, though. 3 interceptions by Case Keenum. He can't do that again.
No.
So the way we'll get back into the NFL, but we have a couple more topics to talk about before we do our picks this week. The greatest athletes, maybe of all time, individually, Serena, had some
Careful.
issues this weekend.
That's a good word.
So, the U.S. Open, she got 3 fouls, and after 3 fouls, you get a game taken away. And the 3rd foul that she got was her calling the umpire. She said thief, right?
Yeah.
And so he gave her the 3rd foul, and that's what took the whole game away.
A final match, mind you.
That's the biggest thing here is that time and place. Apparently, it's much like other sports. Now I don't watch a lot of tennis, so I'll preface this with that. I watch enough tennis, but not a lot. I'm not involved in it in any way, shape, or form. But just like in Game 7 of the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, the whistles get tucked in a little bit and you let the players play.
Which I don't like. Stick to a rule.
But they do. And it sounds like in tennis it's no different in the final match of a tournament.
Yeah, it's
except this situation. This guy has been called worse and not given fouls out, but he's also given fouls out for as tedious things. People say that he's not really consistent, I guess, is what I've read from all of this. And I don't know if Serena was right on the sexist part, but I do think that if they swallow the whistle in that situation, then that's too big of a spot. Then that's too big of a spot. You know what I mean? Then the man shouldn't have done it. But that's officiating, and I don't think that's a sexist thing. I think that's just him officiating poorly in a situation, possibly. At the same time, she did have 2 fouls before that were clear fouls. She broke her racket. You can't do that. And
that's a rule.
Whether she received the coaching or not, the coach did say that he was trying to coach her. Also, been told in those situations that that's also kind of turned the blind eye to, because officials apparently look at it as why in all the other sports a coach is allowed to talk to their players, but in our sport they're not. So over the last 20, 30 years, they don't really call that as a rule anymore. And he called it in that situation, and Serena was like, wait a second. Now, she also apparently didn't take the coaching. She didn't even hear what the guy said, so that's kind of... I don't understand why you penalize the player for the coach trying to do something and then the player... But that's not him. He was enforcing the rules. That's just a bad rule. I don't know exactly who was right and wrong in the situation because I don't watch tennis enough, but what I do think is that
You don't need to do that to know who's right or wrong in the situation.
I don't think that he was being sexist. I think he just might have been a bad official or a tedious official, let's put it that way. And Serena couldn't really handle it in that moment, and she's used to winning, so it didn't go well.
You don't need to watch tennis to know who's right or wrong. They were both completely wrong in this situation. Look.
They both should have diffused it.
He was acting like an ass. And
he was.
And he probably would have swallowed the whistle had it been anybody else. But to the opposite of that, I think the whole that sexist thing went way.
She took it to a second level that it probably didn't need to go to.
Completely unnecessary.
I agree.
I kind of get where she was going with, but to just go way straight to that, I was just like, whoa,
here's the other side of this with Serena.
And she had here's the thing, she had a point when she was saying, yeah, men have done worse. Got it, but then to go straight to from that point to...
But men have done less that he has also apparently done this too.
Right.
I'm not...
But to go from just straight from that point to, well, it's a sexist thing, I was like, wait,
yes.
whoa,
Agreed.
time out, whoa. So, we don't need to go that far.
Because
he's acting like a fuck, and you might be correct in what you're saying.
What Serena needs to understand as well is, and I think she is finding her voice in a culture, I guess, is the best way to put it, but what she needs to understand is that she's not just like any other woman in these situations. The ref might act different towards her because she is Serena Williams. She is the greatest of all time. She is, do you know what I mean? Not is that fair? No. But it is very possible that he might hold the standard a little higher to her than he does the other athletes in the tournaments.
And that's not okay.
No, and she might have a point on getting mad at him for doing something like that. But again, that's not because she's a woman. That's because she's Serena Williams.
And that's not even the point she was coming with.
Right, but I think that might have been more what it is. If that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, she took
it to a whole second level.
Not even just the sexist comment. Like it could have ended much sooner than it did, but
she lost her composure. I've seen athletes lose their composure. She lost her composure. I mean, there's no... That is Serena Williams losing her composure.
Dude, I watched it and I just laughed. Because at one point I was just like, point made, chill, and then you made your point, stop now and just continue this, and then come back at him.
She is a very aggressive woman. I mean, she is...
She
always has been.
And that's what cost her the game, because she kept
That's what
going.
probably has made her as good as she is in tennis, you would think, as well as being aggressive as she is. I'm with you. She She channeled her energy in the
could've
wrong
stopped. Like,
direction in that moment, and she
when-
lost composure. She lost all handle on the situation.
When that whatever, when those two officials came out,
Yeah.
and she had a conversation, she should have been done with it there, but she wasn't.
She didn't take the deep breath and
She
walk
was
away.
like,
No,
no,
you're right.
she-
She went right back to the
Right.
chair and she went after the guy on the chair, and that's what cost
And
her
then,
the
right,
match.
and then he just went way out of left
He
field.
absolutely
and
did.
He should, like you said, I mean, the whole swallowing the whistle thing, he probably should have, but at some point, it's like,
And I don't know
regardless
enough
if you're
about
a man
the
or
sports to
woman,
know if that's a right analogy or not. But what I do know is that he
stop right now. Stop saying it has to do with sports. It doesn't. Literally, just use your common sense. He could have stopped.
Yeah.
What you mean?
He shouldn't have argued
stopped.
with her.
He could have stopped, and she could have shut
He
the
shouldn't
fuck
have
up.
argued- he shouldn't
She
have
should have
argued with
shut
her,
up.
and that's the end
He
of it.
wasn't arguing with her. He was just sitting there, just taking it, and then he decided, well, okay, well, you're gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna cost you a game, which you don't do that in that situation. Come on, it's a final. Stop. You like.
I agree.
Stop. You don't need to do that. She needed to shut the hell up at
Yeah,
one
she
point.
did. She needed to
He
stop.
needed to not, push his weight around or whatever the hell you want to call it.
But then to go in the post game, like you were saying,
he didn't need to call that game. He didn't need to do that.
she took it an extra level in the post game press conference, though.
Right, and when she went the sexist route, that was too, it went way too far for me. Way like, I get the point she was attempting to make, but she didn't necessarily need to get to that extreme.
And
she could have. And
I feel
if she
bad
really,
for the young woman who won the U.S. Open, Osaka. I forget her first name, but
that's how badly he feels for her.
well. The only
Right, 'cause
thing
that's
talked
not
about
gonna- well,
since this is
that's
Serena.
That's the story. I don't feel bad for her, whatever, and I don't really feel bad for her.
She's 19
whatever.
years old. She just beat Serena
Correct.
Williams in her first ever finals
Why do you feel bad for her?
because nobody's even acknowledging her.
She won. Serena acknowledged her. That's all she needed. What you mean? What you mean?
Do you have
She was
anything
going to win regardless. Yeah, I have more to say about the Serena Williams situation.
I was just
Yes,
gonna say,
I do. Yeah,
well, you're not
I do.
wrong on that
I do.
one. She was beating Serena at the time of all this.
Yes, she was. She was.
And she looked like she was on her way to beat Serena.
And yeah, I guess, and to your point, it would have been considered in the store, I don't know, upset, I guess. I don't freaking know, but it would have went down as a situation instead of going down as a quote-unquote meltdown or whatever by Serena, and she should have just chilled the fuck out. She really should have. Part of that's on her. Part of that is a fucking. She's not wrong in saying he ain't gonna never.
She got out of line for sure. There's no question. As I said, she definitely lost composure, and that's a very un-Serena like Williams.
I don't know if it's Serena like Williams or it sounds like it's.
She never really. She usually doesn't channel her energy that way, though.
You push her enough, apparently she will.
Yeah, she just did.
And I wasn't shocked by it when I was sitting there watching it. I laughed. I was like, it took this long to come out of you because you seem like you could do this all the time if you really wanted to. You seem like you probably do this on a regular off the court.
Well, she probably could. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, she's aggressive, clearly.
She's a strong black woman. Let's call it
that's
what the hell it
That's
is.
true, and maybe that's part of it.
And it just wouldn't stop. And
Her
just-
coming at somebody is definitely going to be perceived differently.
And all he had to do, and to her point, I'm gonna give her a point as well. Like he did. You get it? What the hell was I gonna say? I guess I just had to say that and it was funny. He didn't give her a warning. He didn't give her a warning.
No, he didn't.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't say anything.
This is the fucking of him. She
turned around and then he gave her the point.
He literally
Or
was
he
just
took the
like,
point.
he was taking this, and taking this, and not doing anything
And
other
when
than
she turned around is when he did it.
ballsy shit, dude. You're a big man for that, huh?
No.
What the hell you think she was gonna do? Of course she was gonna react the way she reacted, and it just made it worse. It was almost. I'm not saying it was planned or anything, but
No.
damn, like
He
he
pushed
knew
her.
what was coming.
He pushed her.
Yeah, he did. And he could have just this is his fault too. He could have stopped it. And he
The
coulda-
official should
he
never
coulda
be
gave her a
part of the
warning.
match this way.
No.
We agree.
And to some people's point, this is 2018. The damn coach the damn ref who's sitting there doesn't even really do anything. This
No.
is all electronic anyway. So
Yeah.
why the hell is he there?
What's he arguing with her for?
What's he even there for?
She breaks a racket, the point should be taken away by an
But
electronic
that's what he
computer.
does. That's what he does. He
But
calls those things.
The electronic computer can just call that.
Everything's electronic in tennis. So why is he even there anyway?
Yeah.
I don't understand that either. This ain't 1974. This is 2018.
Yeah.
He don't do anything anyway other than agitate Serena Williams
Yeah.
and cost her a freaking final potentially. Hey, come on, man. He's a fuck, and she should have shut the hell up. Ain't no sexism involved. They were both stupid.
So Dwight, That happened on what? Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Also on Saturday, college football. A lot of good games, but nothing crazy. USC lost to Stanford. Penn State blew out Pitt like 56-6 or something like that. Notre Dame won a tight one when it shouldn't have been tight, but there was nothing crazy. The big games of this week. Arizona State did beat Michigan State, and Michigan State was ranked. Arizona State, I like them. Herm Edwards, he 2-0, 2 good games so far.
Yep.
And his quarterback has played exceptionally well. He's got good defense going on. We'll see moving forward as they get into conference play, but that's a big win against Michigan State. This week, we got a couple good games. LSU, Auburn. I got Auburn winning, but LSU I do think they are underrated, and I'm excited for that game. I think it's going to be a very fun game. These are the kind of games that, I wait for as a college football fan all year. Ohio State playing TCU. Last game without Urban Meyer. 2 ranked teams, Ohio State, TCU. Ohio State is obviously the more athletic team. You would think they're going to win this game. It is in Texas, though. USC taking on Texas, in Texas as well at the same time. USC's ranked, Texas is not. I still think Texas is going to win.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I got for you for the college roundup this week. As we get deeper, you'll get a lot more games. But the early season gets a little dry.
Sounds a little dry here in these streets.
Well, it's four good games this week. I'll take it.
Allegedly. According to you, you just named some games with some teams who are unranked. Like, what the fuck? They're good games. Okay.
Dwight?
I expect next week when we have the college conversation when you say there really wasn't any good games last week. Right. I expect you to say the opposite next week. I expect you to say, man, those 4 games I said they were actually all really good games.
I hope so.
But they're not going to be. So
Probably not.
You went that way.
There will be 2 blowouts at least, if not 3. Dwight?
Yeah.
10-5-1. We have a tie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I went last week. What'd you go?
I didn't even count my tie. I'm
You didn't
fucking up.
count.
Look at me. So one of these is not a. One of these is supposed to be a 1 because there were 16 games, right? So what did I count? Did I count a victory or did I count a loss?
You had Arizona winning and they lost.
I'm trying to figure out what I counted as a.
I had Washington.
What does that got to do with it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I even have a Steelers game on here? I do. So it was 8-7-1, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh, alright. Well, 8-7-1. I don't know why.
10-5-1.
Huh.
So our 2 different was Arizona and Philly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I did have the Cardinals. Sure did. Dumbass. Okay.
I have Washington and Philly.
Mazel.
Alright.
I'm picking Atlanta every time in that situation.
So you're 8-7-1. I am 10-5-1. Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
We have Thursday night football.
Sure do.
Baltimore taking on Cincinnati. I know you're excited.
I want this jersey fully. I'm just wearing this guy like Ray Lewis. I don't give a fuck about the Ravens.
Who you taking in this one? Cincinnati's favored.
I'm gonna regret it, but I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm taking Baltimore as well. I think they're
I
gonna
was kind of leaning towards Cincinnati getting it at home, but this is a competition. I'm picking Baltimore, and I assumed you were picking Baltimore, so here we are.
Minnesota, Green Bay. In Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers might not play
Burnouts don't play.
in the rain.
They sure don't. Aaron Rodgers is playing. Son.
Aaron Rodgers is playing.
He's playing.
I'm taking Green Bay.
You like that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, you're taking the Vikings?
No, I'm not. But did you hear he's actually trademarking that? Or he did? You like that.
That's
You
fine.
get it?
I get it.
No, I took Green Bay. I don't pick Aaron. I don't go against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Especially in Lambeau. That's my biggest thing. It's
You
going to be
like
a
that.
great game, though.
You like that. What a bum for that.
Indy taking on Washington.
I got the Redskins.
I have the Colts.
Of course you do. You're an Andrew Luck apologist. Of course you are.
I need Washington to prove it to me.
I need Andrew Luck to prove his entire career to
Andrew
me.
Luck looked alright. It was the rest of the team that looked bad in week 1. Kansas City taking on Pittsburgh. Who do you got? Le'Veon Bell come back? We both say no, right?
No, I got Pittsburgh.
I got Kansas City.
Why?
I think their offense.
It's That's right. You swept up the rookies. I forgot.
Philadelphia taking on Tampa Bay. Fitz Magic.
I hate it, but I picked Philly. Like,
Yeah,
I don't, like I
Philly as well.
can't even like
Good
attempt.
defense.
I can't even attempt to.
And I think they can move the ball enough.
Nobody believes in Fitzpatrick.
Right.
Nobody believes in Fitzpatrick.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Another team that has to prove it to everybody.
Philly by default. Gross.
Cleveland going to New Orleans. Do the Saints bounce back, or do Cleveland stay undefeated?
No, they lose. I got the Saints.
Saints will be 1-1, and Cleveland will be 0-1-1.
Yep. Just like I don't pick against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, I don't pick a bit against Breezes.
I'm taking New Orleans as well. I think that they have
Nolans.
the more talent, obviously.
One of these years, we're going to get him to say it right.
Carolina taking on Atlanta. In Atlanta, they're a better team at home.
Gee, I can imagine. Go ahead, make your pick. No, Atlanta's a better team at home? Of course you did. I picked Atlanta. You already knew you picked Carolina.
I took Carolina.
You never go. Oh, we know. We know. You don't go against Cameron Joel. You don't go against him. This might be one of those pout games, though. We're gonna find out.
We'll see.
We're due for a pout. He pouts just like Eli, as much as you don't want to admit it. Except it's funnier when he does it because he gets the towel over his head, and then the next week he might be like,
Julio might go off. Yeah.
he's so annoying. He's so one extreme in the other.
The Los Angeles Chargers going to Buffalo.
Those Chargers.
1 o'clock game. Teams from the West Coast going to the East Coast usually do not do well in the 1 o'clock games.
You know, you tell us every year.
Who are you taking?
Here you go. Yeah, L.A.
I'm taking San Diego. I mean, LA as well.
Madden still ain't get that right, bro.
Why should they? Houston taking on Tennessee. Mariota's probably going to play, but they don't have a tight end. They don't have any wide receivers. They looked miserable in a 10-hour game the other day.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. I'm going to Houston.
Houston got close to New England. I still think they have a good defense and good offense. I'm taking Houston as well.
Deshaun kind of looked meh, but I'm still going with Houston.
Miami going to the Jets. Miami is favored by 2 points. Who you got?
I don't want to do this, but I'm again by default. I'm going with the Jets at home.
I'm taking the Jets as well. I thought I was going on a leap of faith here. Dwight and I are on the same page. I like it. Arizona taking on the Rams.
That ain't a leap of faith. That's by default. That's by default. I ain't gonna leap of damn faith. Where we at?
Arizona taking on the Rams in LA.
Rams.
Yeah, I mean clearly. I got the Rams as well. Detroit going to play Jimmy Garoppolo, your second favorite quarterback. Who you got?
Detroit basketball. No, I didn't pick them. No.
San Francisco.
I was always
all right, cool. Cause I was gonna say, man,
I'm taking again by default. I don't like Garoppolo. Stinkalo.
But Detroit just was horrific on Monday night.
And Detroit's probably gonna win too.
They're going across the country though.
I don't get
short week.
That does not factor me. Who's the better team? I don't
San
care
Francisco.
about this whole. Stop it! I don't care about this whole going to East Coast.
Who
West
you got?
Coast. I picked the 49ers, but I don't like the West versus East bullshit. This ain't East Coast versus West Coast. This ain't no rap game. I don't. Like, it has nothing to do with it.
How about same game, new city, AFC Championship, New England going to Jacksonville.
Go ahead.
New England.
Damn, we gotta pick New England too.
Clearly.
Ain't no clearly.
Tom.
Okay, and they're facing
Look
Jacksonville
like a well-oiled
defense.
machine on Sunday.
And they got the Jacksonville defense. And Blake Bortles looks like bum-ass Blake Bortles.
He didn't look all that good.
They regret that yet?
Yes.
Do they regret that yet?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
What you mean you don't know?
Why
Blake
did they
Bortles
conquer-
made the most
why did
Blake
they conquer
Bortles
Teddy
game ever.
Bridgewater? They could have had Teddy Bridgewater.
They
Wouldn't
could
that
have-
have been great?
They could have Teddy Bridgewater. They could have had...
Colin Kaepernick.
He started selling jerseys, you know.
I saw that.
Call him hashtag I'm with Cap.
Should we get some?
I'm in. 100% of proceeds are going to his foundation.
So we should probably wear them on the show.
I'm in.
We with Cap.
People are mad about that.
All right,
it's like,
so
what
he's
are you mad
better.
about?
He's
What
better.
are you mad about?
Did I not say going into last week that he was better than Nathan Peterman?
Yes.
Well, that's clear.
Yes.
Is he not better than Blake Bortles?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm better than Blake Bortles. Your son is better than Blake Bortles. Your son ain't here yet.
2 weeks.
Come on, man. But they just signed this man.
So we both taking New England.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the quarterbacks for us. Oakland taking on Denver. Case Keenum won't throw 3 interceptions. They beat Oakland. Come on.
Yeah.
Oakland.
I can't
I can't go with
Oakland,
that yet.
There's nothing with Oakland.
They
There's
just
nothing.
they were
There's
so
absolutely
unimpressive on
nothing.
Monday night.
Everything about them's unimpressive. The coach, the offense, the defense. There's nothing impressive about Oakland after week 1. And on paper, there's nothing impressive about them other than a potential of Jordy Nelson, which you need a quarterback to throw to.
What you got for the Sunday night game? The Giants going to Dallas.
It's gonna be a tight one. I got Dallas just because it's a home a home divisional game
Yeah.
Sunday night. That's all I got. They're both garbage.
I took the Giants, but I have no idea who's going to win this game.
They're both garbage.
I took the Giants.
I don't even know why I just said I took Dallas at home because it's at home because we don't win at home.
No, but I took the Giants. I have no idea. It's not.
It's gonna be a piss poor game unless Dallas just bounces back somehow. And even if they do, even if they put up 40 and Giants put up 6, it's like what is that gonna say about Dallas after week 2? Nothing. I still got Dallas.
In your Monday night game, Khalil Mack in his second game, hosting Russell Wilson.
This is a trap game, you know that, right?
I'm taking Seattle.
I took Seattle too, but you know this is kind of a trap game.
I mean, I hear you, but I have faith
Yeah.
in Seattle. I have faith in Russell Wilson. I think they
You know
bounce
you
back.
do. You know you do. You never go against Russ either. You got like 4 or 5 people you never go against. We know.
I'm a very big, if you have a good quarterback, you have a chance.
That Bears defense though.
Very good. Not going to lie. And we talked about that last week, and you kind of laughed, and I said I think they got a half-decent defense, but with Khalil Mack, he just changes everything. That's honestly the end of it. He really just changes everything. He gets pressure.
I did laugh at it, and I still laugh at it. It's only Khalil Mack that I
You
made
know
that
I was
statement
right, though,
about.
right?
No, I'm only making that statement about Khalil Mack. No, fuck the rest of that team.
Also, if
What you mean?
If Kyle Fuller picks off Aaron Rodgers with 2 minutes to go, the comeback never happens. On the play before the touchdown, it bounced out of their cornerback's hands, the Bears, and then the comeback never happens.
So the only one we got different is the Cowboys-Giants game, which I'm not even confident in picking the Cowboys, and that's going to be a garbage game in my opinion. So that's really the only game we have different.
Maybe.
Ain't no maybe, bro. We picked the same games. What you mean? We just went through the whole list. What you maybe? And yeah, that's the only game we picked differently. We both picked the Ravens, the Saints, the Chargers, the Steelers. No, you picked the Chiefs.
Yeah,
That's dead
I
correct.
picked
Okay, you picked the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
We had some.
You picked the bum ass Chiefs. Okay, so 2. Oh, I lie. Okay, you picked the fucking Colts too because you're an Andrew Luck apologist. That's
Yeah,
stand
we got
corrected.
this.
I don't know
I
what
took
I'm talking about.
Carolina. We got some difference.
This is going to separate some things.
More than last week.
Yeah, last week was only 2. This week's like 3 or 4.
Dwight,
That's my name.
we're going to have to watch some football together soon.
At some point.
Thank you for watching Daily Sports. Listen on SoundCloud. Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, listen on SoundCloud because I'm tired of wasting my time uploading there. Getting like 1 listen. Like I'm tired of wasting my time. Right. Peace out.